In this section, we'll try to understand the overall layout of RStudio, what all tabs we have, and what are the other options that we have with us. So before going to that, let me just try to change the font size first, because right now if I start explaining about things, it might not be visible if you are watching this video on a mobile. So let me go to tools first. We go to global options, and then here we have appearance. In the appearance tab, we have the font size as 12. Now I would like to increase it. If you're okay with this particular font size on your laptop or desktop, you can probably skip this part. But if not, if you feel the font size has to be increased, you have an option here. I would go to 18, because if I select 18, the font size looks pretty big, and hopefully you should be able to view that even on your mobile if you're watching this video on your mobile. And the editor theme, so right now it's on Chrome. For me, I have an option of changing my background accordingly. So if I click on apply, this is how the background as well changes. So I would like to select one of them of my preference, and you can explore the other options that you have, and whichever suits you, whichever display you're fond of, you can keep that. All right. In pane layout, now this is where we have this display. So you have the source here, and we have the console.
Console.
Exactly. And we have the environment history. So whatever is displayed here, if you want to make some changes, if you want even the files part to be displayed here, you can click on files, and if you click on apply here, the files that was ticked here gets unticked. All right, so eventually you can display them wherever you want to, depending upon your preference, but let me just keep it to default. This is how I would prefer having. Now let me click on the apply button. But yeah, you can explore a few other things, but this is just to ensure that I at least change the font size and the layout, so that when I type a few things and explain, things are easier for you to view, even if you're watching this on your mobile. So I click on apply and click on the OK button. All right, now let me close this source part first. So this is how the layout looks like now. I have changed the background as well. So what is environment? Now, if I type a few things here, say I'm typing a few codes here, 2 plus 3, and I also assign a particular value to a variable. When I assign a value, that gets displayed over here, the variable as well as the value of the variable. I can also assign a vector of numbers. This is how we do it in R. C stands for combine. So you're combining 1, 2, 3, 4. All these numbers separated by a comma, and you click on the enter button. Now B will have all these numbers as its value. All right. This is how. And if I just type something like a print statement, this will not get displayed here, because you're not assigning any value to any variable, or you're not creating or saving something as a data frame. Of course, we'll come to that in the future tutorials, but that's how it is. If you go to history, history has all those codes that you have just entered or just created a few minutes back. So if you have a complex code and you want to use it again, probably you must have gone down the lane, you must have entered some 50 to 60 codes. What you can do is, the best way that history can be taken care of, or the help that you get from history, is supposing this looks to be a complex code which you want to execute, but by changing it slightly. Double click on this and it will get displayed here. And if you want to change the numbers here, say you want to change the number, and you put additional numbers here, 6, 7, 8, and click the enter button. Now the B value here was 1, 2, 3, 4, but now it is 6, 7, 9. But if you go to environment, B now has the latest value. So you have overwritten the value of B by entering it all over again. So this is what history is all about. But whatever we type here, these are not getting saved anywhere. If you want to save this and share it with your friend, you do not have an option. So for that, you will have to enter all your code in this source tab. So whatever we type here, right now it is untitled one. So whatever we type here, if I type all these things, say 2 plus 3, and I have a equal to 3, b equal to 1 2 3. And now if I save this, I have an option of saving it either by clicking on this particular save icon directly, or I also have an option of saving it as a save as file. All right, I can do a save as and save this file wherever, whichever folder I prefer saving this file. So right now we are in a particular directory. To know where exactly we are, we can, let me close this for now because we are not writing any complex code here. So we can continue on the console. Okay, to understand which directory we are in, we just have to type set working directory, get working directory, get wd. So the help option comes automatically in RStudio. As soon as we type a few letters, whatever functions we have with those letters, that comes as a drop down, as a display for us to choose among them. So I would select the first one, and if I just click the enter button, it says I am in this particular directory. If I want to change the directory, yeah, we shall get to that in the next few tutorials. So this is just to for us to understand where exactly we are, and all these folders are currently existing in this particular directory. Plots is something where once we start designing graphs, once we start creating graphs, all those plots will get displayed over here. Packages, now this is something which is inbuilt when we execute the RStudio. When we install RStudio for the first time, all these packages are built in. We can also install new packages from tools and install packages. Once we click on this, this is where we have the option. Now, if we type a package here, for example, if I just type something, so it will give me all the options that I have to install. So these are all not coming in the base R when we install. So these are something which we have to install if we need those particular packages. All right. So this is how we install a new package and take advantage of the functions that exist in those packages. Help is a function which will help us understand a little more about a particular function. So if I want to take the help of any particular function, for example, if I type filter here, if I want to understand how exactly filter functions, and this is how the help option gives me an idea. All right, we can just type whatever we know, and we need to understand a little more in depth about it. This is how we get to know about it. So these are some of the basics of RStudio that we would require to know before we get started. In the next tutorial, we'll start off with coding in R and Python. If you have any feedback, suggestions, please do put them in the comment section. I would be more than happy to go through them and help you out if you have any questions. All right. So if you like my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. In the upcoming tutorials, I would be explaining about some of the basics in R and Python, and then we shall start solving a few puzzles in R and Python simultaneously so that you understand which language you're more comfortable with, and you can start using that more frequently in your office work, day-to-day office work. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.